Welcome back to the motherfucking flaming hot cast, dude. What's up? How's it going? Episode 90. We're back. I told you last week I was going to get the numbers dialed in, and I got the numbers dialed in. Episode 90. Welcome back. Hello. We're doing it. Yes. Here we are again. Yes. Not quitting. Never ever quitting this podcast. Yes. Until one day I wake up and my energy is low and I go, absolutely not doing it today. No, that's not going to happen. I'm feeling good today. This is going to be a good episode, so don't click away. Do not even think about clicking away, because sometimes I start recording and I start going, and then I check the views and it's like, all right, people clicked away after 90% of people clicked away after 30 seconds. And I'm like, what did I say at 30 seconds? And then I click on it and it's like, well, I want to kill myself. And then I'm like, all right, well, no wonder people clicked away. So don't click away, okay? Stick around. Today's going to be a good episode. I'm actually looking forward to it. Got a lot to talk about. First of all, episode 90. Hello. Not going to reminisce. I'll save that for episode 100. Or I guess episode 88, like I did 2 weeks ago. Yeah, episode 90. Pretty wild. Yeah, welcome back. What happened this week? Oh, I got a haircut. Ooh, shit. I mean, look at that. Check that out on the YouTubes. Dude, my boy lined me the frick up, dude. Lined me the frick up. He kind of slammed me though, dude. I was getting my my wig pushed back. No, I was getting my hair chopped, and me and my barber are tight. You know what I mean? I found, dude. Shout out to my barber Joe, beast. I feel like we broke a barrier this weekend. This week I got my hair cut, and first of all, he hit me with a slam. He goes, yo, they're calling this the Travis Kelce haircut. I was like, go on. Proceed. Are you calling my girlfriend Taylor Swift, or are you calling me an abusive boyfriend? Answer me that, Joe. Answer me that, Barber Joe. Are you calling me a diva who has a podcast? Wow, it's fitting, dude. Maybe I want to be Travis Kelce. No, I don't. Nor do I want to date his. We're going to, there's been a couple times when I've made references to Taylor Swift and her army on here, and I'm going to leave that alone because, well, quite frankly, she scares me. Her army scares me. They got, dude, if Taylor Swift's army was to, like, for real, I think I've said this a bunch. If Taylor Swift's army was to, for real, like, rise up, I think the nation would be fucked. I think we'd be screwed, dude. Like, if Taylor Swift joined the NRA, our country would be fucked, dude. Her whole army would be like, all right, I guess I have to get a gun now. I guess I have to get an Uzi now. You leave me no choice, Queen. What did they call her? Mother? You leave me no choice, Mother. I have to get an Uzi now. That's what they would do, right? And then they would all get guns, dude. I mean, our country would be, honestly, better protected. Our country would probably be better protected if Taylor just joined the NRA and was like, you know what? Fuck it. Right to bear arms? Yeah. Dude, gun sales would go through the roof. What kind of guns do you think our fan base would get? My girlfriend comes home and is like, I don't even know. I bought a 50 cal sniper. Has never shot a gun in his life. Has no idea what guns are. My girlfriend comes home. I don't even know. Mother just told me to buy a 50 cal sniper rifle, and I bought one. I'm like, dude, check this thing out. Putting it together at night. It's going to look like a fucking ISIS meeting at our concerts now. Now when she goes to MetLife to play, everyone's just like shooting guns up. You just see bullet tracers just flying in the sky. Do you remember we were young? And they're just like bullets in the sky, dude. Wow. That would be nuts. Taylor's army, honestly, Taylor, if you're listening to this, Taylor Swift, hey, PSA to Taylor Swift when you see this clip, because I know that you peruse my Instagram all the time. I know that for real once a day she thinks, what does the fat pod think of this? So here's what I should say. Here's what I will say to you, Taylor. Taylor, I'm speaking directly to you. Hey, Taylor, how's it going? First of all, hey, how's it going? Second of all, you should join the NRA, to be honest. Start taking money from the NRA, because I think our country would benefit from it. I think arming millennial women is what this country needs. I think that's secretly what would stop homelessness. I think that's what would stop the drug problem in our country. I think it would stop a lot of problems if millennial women all bought Uzis. If Queen Mother If Queen Mother B, Teresa, joined the NRA, collectively, the entire nation would be a lot safer. So that's my pitch to you, Taylor. I know you're listening. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm a hack for suggesting that. Maybe that's already been suggested before. I wonder if the NRA seriously has like offered Taylor, like made Taylor Swift an offer. Like it's fucking make him like the Godfather, make her an offer she can't refuse. You know what I mean? They put on the table, they're like $50 billion to join. That would be crazy, dude. And then on their website, it's like all the people that are like in support of like the Second Amendment. You're like, Taylor Swift? The Swifties are in support of the Second Amendment? Fuck it, I'm joining. Fuck it, dude. I'm buying an AK-47. Queen Mother said it's fine, so fuck it, dude. We're buying AKs. The whole fam's getting AKs this Christmas, dude. Queen Mother said so. No, I guess I should probably say Taylor Swift doesn't endorse this podcast, right? My lawyer told me I should say that. My lawyer and tax expert, my dad. My lawyer, tax expert, and parking aficionado, Raymond Viola, said I should probably say that at the beginning of this podcast. All views on this podcast do not represent those of my family, Taylor Swift, my employer, all of the above, right? None of them, my views do not represent any of that. There's got to be some sort of disclaimer at the front of this also, because I've given advice on here before, so I should probably be like, hey, do or don't do it. Probably don't do it. Don't do it. Whatever I'm saying on here, do not do. I got to say that, probably. I don't know. Or do it and don't blame me. No, I'm kidding. Do not do it. Let's get down to the brass tacks of the issue. I've been saying that phrase recently. I honestly don't know what that phrase means, but I've been saying it a lot recently. Let's get down to the brass tacks. What is the origins of that phrase? What is so foreign? What is the origins of brass tacks? Let's get down to the brass tacks. Let's look it up. Let's get down to business to defeat the cum. Let's get down to the brass tacks. Oh, it's not fucking TAX. I thought it was brass, whatever, dude. Origins of getting down to brass tacks. Wow, this is starting to make no sense at all. I've always been interested. Oh, I mean, fucking snooze fest, dude. Tell me what it means. We hardly ever speak about brass tacks, so why did they achieve such prominence? Dude, fucking snooze fest. Holy shit. I mean, just tell me what it means. Quora, thank you. Finally, someone's smart on the internet, dude. All right, so apparently no one knows where this came from, which I love even more, right? Because that means that you could just say something in a publication and then it'll stick, meaning what I've been doing for the last 90 episodes. I could just say one phrase on here and it'll stick. And when was this? 1863? And in 160 years later, someone can just say it and be like, yeah, I don't know. Who knows where this came from? But it's a common phrase, right? So it means to engage with the basic facts or reality. And it originated in Texas, but no one really knows where it came from. And it says that the derivation is uncertain. Nevertheless, it is a phrase that is often asked about, so I'll list the most likely possible sources. Brass tacks are, of course, real as well as figurative items, and two of the most commonly repeated supposed derivations refer to actual tacks. Firstly, okay, I mean, fuck it, dude. We don't know where it comes from. I gave up. I gave up on that article. I mean, if you heard me listening to that, which all of you obviously just did, if you heard me reading that, all of you are like, all right, this guy's a fucking idiot, so we're not listening to that. And I can't expose myself any further. So I'm not going to read this. We're not a reading pod, dude. You don't listen to this to be like, oh, what books is he reading? No, dude. You come on here to be like, oh, I wonder what Dominic thinks about Taylor Swift joining the NRA. Well, here you go. Join, Taylor. We're not a fucking reading pod, dude. We're not nerds on this freaking pod, dude. Here's what we talk about. Our Queen Mother joining the NRA. Getting down to the brass tacks. And 3, what did I talk about last week? Who knows? I flush it. As soon as the episode's over, I'm like, memory wipe. Erase. Yeah, dude, I fucking wipe my memory as soon as it's done. For real. I just like record, fucking spew a bunch of nonsense into a mic for 30 minutes. Problematic. And then I go, who knows what I said? And then I post it on the internet. Me detonating the bomb. That is my life. Anyways, let's get down to the brass tacks. Well, you learn something new every day. I didn't know that it was TACKS. I thought it was tax. Like, let's get down to the brass tax documents, you know? Like, there's silver, gold, and brass tax. We should come up with some new phrases. I think another podcast already did that recently, but we should come up with some new phrases. Email me. Let's try and revive the email. Every time I say it, no one emails me. This week, come up with, okay, here's a task this week. Come up with a phrase that should be a phrase, but isn't. Like, getting down to the brass tacks. What are some other ones? I play it by ear, right? Phrases like that. Make one up, include the definition, and send it to my email, firingpod@gmail.com, firingpod@gmail.com. Email me. Phrases that aren't true, but should be true. Cool. I'll think of some as well and bring that back next week. And we'll review them, and that'll be a segment. And you'll be happy, and your entry will be read, and it won't be made fun of. And a lot of you, me fucking hypnotizing the crowd, I should just start fucking putting the big spiraling black and white thing. You will email me, and you will like it. Wow, that sounded actually kind of rapey. My bad. Wow, I didn't even finish my first thought of my fucking barber, dude. I just went on a tangent about Taylor Swift joining the NRA. I didn't even finish my fucking first thought about my barber. Anyways, dude, my barber roasted me. He was 13 minutes later, and we're going back to the origination. The origination? Yeah, so my barber, he flamed me. He goes, this is what they're calling the Travis Kelce haircut. And I was like, all right, ruin my confidence. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Now, you might say, why does that ruin your confidence? Tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Abuses his girlfriend. No, he doesn't abuse his girlfriend. But he was kind of acting like it at the Super Bowl, dude. It's giving abusive boyfriend when he fucking hit the head coach of the Chiefs. Sorry. I don't speak for the public. They speak for me. That's a good phrase. I don't speak for the public. They speak for me. But not good enough. Email me. No, but he goes, man, this is what I'm calling the Travis Kelce haircut, dude. And I was like, oh, word? I mean, it's popular. And he's like, I know. I've been giving this haircut for a while, so I don't really understand why people are calling it that. And I was like, right? I'm saying, dude. Whenever I go to a barbershop, dude, your boy turns black. I'm saying, brother. I dap him up. Wow, that was so bad. Anyways, so I go, and then he says that, and then afterwards he's like, how does it look? And I'm like, damn, cuz it looks good. No, this is actually, I should stop saying that. So then afterwards he's like, he's like, mind if I take a picture? And I was like, dude, go ahead. And it made me feel like a little pageant dog, dude. When your barber takes your pic after getting fucking lined the frig up, dude. When you get lined the frig up at your barbershop and then he takes your picture, you feel like a pageant dog. I'm like, yes, master, take my picture. And I'm just sitting there like posing. It's like those dogs when they hit them. You know, they hit their little face to like posture them correctly. He's like, he slaps me. He's like, get in position. Come on, we talked about this. I'm like, okay, sorry, master. Yes, I'll get in position. Dude, but then he posts on the gram and then we followed each other. Dude, following your barber is such a weird, because now he's going to see all the weird shit I put on my story. And be like, this is the guy that cuts my hair. Also, I love that towards the end of the haircut, he goes, yo, are you, this is like how dudes check in with each other. I like walked in. I was like, dude, sorry about the 49ers. He's like, dude, all good, man. Kind of a rough game. I was like, yeah, man, all good. We sit. He's just, buzzing for a little bit. Folds my ear down, lining me up a little bit. It's just silent. Kind of just watching. I'm like, dude, baseball's starting up. He's like, yeah, man, Padres should be all right this year. I'm like, true. And it's silent for a little bit. He's like, you and your girl still together? I'm like, yup, still living together. He's like, all right, good, man, good. Yeah, man, cool. And then it's silent for a little bit. He's like, what do you think about Taylor Swift joining the NRA? And I'm like, dude, I'm saying, my brother. That's what I'm saying, brother. She should be joining, because then, like, all millennial girls would have guns, dude. That's what I've been saying for a while, dude. Check out my podcast, Firing All Tuesdays, live every Tuesday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Or no, actually, I don't even know the fucking time. 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Wow, math. Once again, not a reading pod, not a nerd pod. What we are is try to make you laugh pod. Or as I said 2 weeks ago, try and jerk you off pod. So that's good. All right, now that we talked about my barber fading me the frig up. Now that we talked about my barber just lining me the hell up, dude. What else should we talk about? Let's talk about what else happened this week. I was chatting my lady off. My lady chatting my lady off. That's a phrase. Dude, you got to be chatting my dick off. And what that means is talking to someone so much that they cum their pants. That's another phrase that we just made up. So that's one that you could possibly email me, firingpod@gmail.com. No, let's talk about Mr. Shane Gillis on the SNL this week. Wow. What a performance. What a performance for my Lord and Savior. No, it was good. Don't get me wrong. Well, actually, there's nothing to say that's wrong. It was good. I don't have anything negative to say about it. I don't have anything negative to say about his performance. His monologue, killer, dude. Also, it is funny. It's funny that SNL, with their with their musical guest and host, if you look at their hosts for this season, they're clearly targeting like a demographic, right? Like this past week, Shane Gillis, 21 Savage. Ding, this guy right here. Everyone, white dudes in their mid-20s. Shane Gillis and 21 Savage. I mean, clearly trying to target, like, for real, white dudes in their mid-20s. Because when I saw that was happening, I was like, oh, dude, 21 Savage, love his music. Red Rum, dude, big fan. Shane Gillis, dude, the fucking man. Cheese Danny, dude, what a good bit. Such a good bit, dude. What a fucking dummy I am, dude. I saw that, and I just immediately was like, oh, putting it on my story, dude. Telling everyone I know, dude. Shane Gillis, 21 Savage, dude. Me in my living room. Also on Saturday watching SNL, and 21 comes on. I'm like, dude, Red Rum. I love this song. G Block. All we know is Red Rum, Red Rum, Red Rum. Such a white dude. Me in my living room just like, oh, dude, is that Summer Walker? Hell yes, man. Oh, Brent Faiyaz? Awesome, dude. And then it cuts to Phil Gillis. Oh, my God, Phil Gillis? Hell yes. Yeah, it was a great episode. Well, Shane was great in the episode. I have my gripes with it. But I don't think it was on him. I think it was more the writing. Because he shined in a lot of what he was presented, he shined. He shined very hard. His monologue, killer. Dude, he looked so nervous on camera. But he killed it, dude. Said cracker and retarded on NBC. What can you want? What more could you want out of life, dude? Said cracker and retarded on NBC. He won. He fucking won, dude. Yeah, man, he won. He won. He does his monologue, which he addresses. He's humble. He's like, I shouldn't be here. Yeah, I mean, I got fired from the show. Don't look that up. Hilarious. Roast his father on live TV. Hilarious. I feel like such a fucking stupid fanboy. He mentioned Phil Gillis, and it cut to him in the thing, and I audibly was like, "Oh, it's Phil, dude." Such an idiot I am. In my living room, just like, "Oh my God, Phil Gillis." Just such a fucking stupid fanboy. What I wanted to talk about though was his first skit. Go watch it if you haven't, first of all. But his first skit, he talks about, or it's not him talking. It's a skit where he's the father of this family from Ohio, and they go to a black church in Jamaica. It's a very funny skit. What I wanted to say is he starts doing the patois accent towards the end, and I had a realization while we were watching it, and I was like, dude, he won. He won. He got fired from SNL for doing a voice, right? For doing a Chinese voice or whatever. And now he got invited back to SNL. He fucking murdered the monologue. And then his first skit, he's doing a voice. He's doing a voice. I mean, dude, he won. It just proves that dude, none of that mattered. None of what SNL did or fired him for mattered at all. None of what he said mattered. Because if it truly mattered, they wouldn't have brought him back, obviously. Right? Like if he really said some fucked up shit, they wouldn't have brought him on. But it's undeniable what he said. I mean, sorry, it's undeniable that he's hilarious and that he's one of the best comedians working right now. And it was smart of SNL to bring him on. because I bet you it was one of their most watched episodes in a very long time. I'm willing to bet that it was a highly watched episode. And I know I sound like such a dork when I say this shit. I sound like one of those podcast guys that are just like, this week Shane Gillis was on Saturday Night Live, and let's see all the reactions from the comedian. Like, I know I sound like such a dork right now, but dude, it's a big moment. That was a big moment seeing that, because they have comedians every once in a while. They had Nate Bargatze earlier this year, or earlier this season. But having him on, especially with everything that's gone down, like, it's crazy. I mean, obviously, people have already talked about. Go look it up if you haven't seen it. But people already talked about Norm Macdonald getting canceled and going back on, and having his monologue and saying what he said. People are saying Shane should have done what he did, but I think he killed it, man. I think his monologue was 10 out of 10. I think the skits that they put him in he performed well, and I think that the writing was what lacked. I think that the writing in those skits was not the best. There was a good chunk of them that I thought were not funny, but I thought he was very funny in them, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I don't know, man. It was cool. It was cool seeing that. It felt like, I don't know. Obviously I've only been doing stand up for a little bit now. I haven't been doing, I'm not like a certified hot comic. You know what I mean? I'm not friends with him in any way. I'm not pretending to be, like, all of that shit. I understand how this is coming across, but I do want to say it felt like last Saturday, this is going to sound so gay. It felt like Comedy One, dude. For a second, for one night, I was like, let's fucking go, dude. It felt like it was such a weird thing, because it felt like every comedian that I look up to was collectively like, fuck yes, was cheering for the same thing. And it was cool. It was cool seeing that shit, dude. It was cool seeing that, and then have him go, and now, ladies and gentlemen, 21 Savage. And then he gave a thumbs up. That was hilarious, because he looked so nervous up there. Also, one of the skits that I want to highlight was fucking, he did this one. I don't think it made the live cut, but it was on YouTube. They posted it, and it was them making fun of the Liberty Mutual emu commercial. Dude, fuck that emu. I'm so glad they, like, targeted that emu, because fuck that emu. I was getting sick and tired of that goddamn commercial. Liberty Bibberty. I'm some douche on TV, and Liberty Bibberty, here's the fucking emu. Emu. That commercial pissed me the fuck off, dude. I'm so glad that they targeted that goddamn emu. I read a hit piece on the emu, dude. I don't know. Go watch it if you haven't. It's streaming on the Cock. That's what I like to call Peacock, dude. It's streaming on the Cock. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's all I really have to say about SNL. If you haven't fucking noticed by the amount of... Dude, sometimes I talk about him to my girlfriend or to one of my coworkers so much that I'm like, all right, I mean, not only do I sound homosexual towards this man, but also I am probably annoying the fuck out of whoever I'm talking to about this. What else happened this weekend? Oh, yeah. This happened. Your boy's a misogynist now. Now, when I say that, now pump the brakes, all right? Before you write the headlines, typewriter sound. Before you write all the headlines, Firing Out Tuesdays is hosted by a misogynist. Fucking, first of all, rewind. Your boy said that Taylor Swift should join the NRA. Taylor Swift should join the NRA. That was first of all why I'm not a misogynist. And two, I didn't say it. Even though technically I just did say it, I didn't say it. Okay? Let me explain myself first. Today, went to a coffee shop with my queen bee. Now, not Taylor Swift. Even though I was referred to as Travis Kelce, I went with my actual queen bee, my lovely girlfriend. We had a coffee shop. She paid for me because your boy's a little... It felt like one of those moments where she was like, I got the coffee. And I was like, thanks, babe. And I was standing behind her, you know? I was standing behind her and peeking out at the person. I was like, I'll do a nice latte. And then I stood right behind her. She's like, I'll pay. And I'm like, thanks, queen. I'm like looking at the ground. I'm like, she's like, what do you want? I'm like, I'll do a nice latte. She's like, tell the woman what you want. I'm like, okay, I'll do a nice latte, please. And I creep it right back behind her. She goes, all right, I'll pay. I was like, thank you. And she swipes her card, and I go, thanks, babe. And the barista, she goes, no problem. And I was like, oh, I'm a certified misogynist now. It looks like I just called this woman babe. And now I have a couple options, right? I can either backtrack. I can go, oh, that wasn't intended for you, you know? I didn't mean to call you babe. But then that makes it even weirder, right? Because then I'm addressing it, you know? She could spit my coffee. She'd be like, whatever. But also, I'm like, well, maybe she thought it was one of those moments where, like, you know, when you're at the airport and the person at TSA is like, all right, have a good flight. And you're like, you too, right? And you're like, oh, stupid idiot. I'm such a stupid idiot, right? Stupid. You're like, you look at the person, you're like, fucking gun in my mouth, dude. I'm such a dumb idiot. And they're like, okay, sir, relax, calm down. I'm like, I'm such a stupid idiot. Look at this. Is this funny to you? God, I'm such a dumb idiot. That moment when you're at TSA and you pull out a gun after saying you too, when they say have a good flight and you say you too and you pull out a gun and put it in your mouth, that awkward moment. That awkward moment when TSA pulls you in to question you separately because you pulled out a gun after they said have a good flight and you said you too. Put it in the air and said I want to kill myself. That awkward moment. You know that silly little moment when you're in TSA and they say that to you? And you pull out a gun and threaten to shoot up the whole place? Because you had an awkward moment? All right, I need to stop. No. I didn't know if she had like one of those moments, you know? Where she just like accidentally thought that I said that and just instinctively she was like, no problem. But then I left and I was like, babe, I think you're dating a misogynist. How does it feel to date a misogynist? Hey, quick, TMZ. Word with girlfriend of Firing on Tuesday's host. How does it feel to date a misogynist? She's like, honestly, I've known it for years. And I'm glad that he finally came out as a misogynist. I'm just glad that he can speak his truth finally. I'm just finally glad that he can speak his truth and that we don't have to live in fear anymore. Because and that I don't have to live in fear anymore. Me in the background, bring the patriarchy back. Patriarchy. All right, well, that was my morning. How did you start your morning? I got called a misogynist by myself. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Be a misogynist or don't. Hey, remember, the views don't represent everyone else's views on this podcast. What did I say? I don't speak for the public speaks for me. What an asshole I am sometimes when I say that stuff, you know? Anyways, email me your phrases. All right, one thing I wanted to close with that So there are a lot of times, right? There are a lot of times on this podcast when I say, all right, we're going to start doing this as a trend. And then the next week I don't do it. Right. I want this to be an actual for real recurring thing. So I'm going to try my best. No, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to do it. I don't need to say I'm going to try my best. I'm going to do it. Every week I'm going to review a business that I went to as a kid or in my adolescence or just in general. I'm not going to I'm still trying to work out specifically what it is, but every week I'm going to pick a business and I'm going to review it. I'm going to say my experience, and then I'm going to talk about the reviews on Yelp from that experience. And I want to target businesses that I, as a kid, was like, wow, that place was the best. And then I look it up and it's like one of the worst experiences I've ever had, right? I want to target those businesses, you know, just to highlight a couple things. First of all, ruin the view that I had on my childhood, thinking it was awesome, and just be like, wow, my childhood actually wasn't as good as I thought it was, right? A couple other things. Another thing being, I think it's funny to highlight businesses that suck. We boost up a lot of businesses and say, wow, this business was really good. But I also want to highlight a couple of businesses that people haven't had the best experience at, right? So the reason why this got brought up is because when I was younger, my family and I went on a family vacation to the lovely Hawaiian island of Maui, right? It was fantastic. One thing that stands out to me from that island is when we got off the plane, we hopped in a rental car and we started driving. And I don't know why, but this stands out to me. We went to a diner. Now, we're on Maui, right? We could have gone to get Hawaiian food. We could have gone to get whatever, right? We went to a diner. And let me tell you something. It fucking ruled, all right? I got a cheeseburger, and it was so good to the point that not only did I want to go back every single day that we were there on vacation. I remember saying, "Hey, can we come back here tomorrow?" And my family going, "Maybe." And I knew that meant no. And in my head, I went, "Oh, one day I'm going to talk about this on a podcast, and I'm going to kill you guys." Not only did I think that and have that serial killer thought, but number two, not joking, I've thought about this place bare minimum once a month for the last 15 years of my life. Sometimes once a week for the last 15, but every month I do have a thought of like, wow, that diner. It might be subconsciously, but I think of that diner, right? Now, it's never been to the point where I tried to Google it because I spent 5 minutes Googling it today and found it immediately. It was so easy, right? But the reason I thought of it is because I went to a concert last weekend and I saw a guy wearing a diner shirt and it said Maui. And I was like, oh my God, is that the diner? And it was. And I Googled it and I fucking found it. So I started looking at it and I was like, oh my God, this place was, I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, this place was like one of the best diners I've ever been to. I remember it being so fucking good. I looked at the reviews, like dog shit reviews, like overwhelmingly bad reviews of this place, right? Now, I have the reviews in front of me and we're going to go through some of the 1-star reviews because I started reading the first line on one of them and I started dying laughing and I was like, dude, I got to wait to talk about this on the podcast. Holy shit, man. Okay. All right, here we go. Deborah K, 11 months ago. Our worst dining experience in Maui in years. Burgers were greasy, tasty hockey pucks, stale bun, and our request of a thick malt versus milkshake was ignored. No malt flavoring, barely any hot fudge, and it was like milk. The onion rings were okay. Place was pretty dirty too. Wow. I mean, Deborah K just went fucking scorched earth and said this was one of the worst dining experiences. The reason why I thought this was so funny and why I wanted to do this is because the juxtaposition between me as like a little bitch-ass 10-year-old and being like, wow, can we come back here every single day? This place has a jukebox and cheeseburgers. What more could you want in life, right? Meanwhile, Deborah K, 11 months ago, said this was like one of the worst dining experiences she's ever had, right? Like in recent memory, this was like a terrible experience for her. And I've definitely had these experiences, never at Peggy Sue's Diner in Maui. Never at Peggy Sue's. I've always had great experience. One time I had a good experience. But I've had these experiences. One of them actually was this past weekend. I had like one of the worst dining experiences I've ever had in my life. And Deborah had that at Peggy Sue's. And a bitch-ass little 10-year-old me was like, hey, this place rules. Let's come back here every day. Laura B said, so completely disappointed and honestly grossed out. Ordered the steak sandwich to go, and the steak, in quotes, was almost completely all fat and grizzle. The few pieces of meat were so tough and chewy, the sandwich was inedible. Ew, this looks disgusting, dude. She put a picture of it. Someone said, I just looked at my credit card statement. I have the receipt, and I left a $4 tip, but was posted with a $6 tip. I wonder how many customers this business sneaked in a couple dollars onto the final bill. The burgers are great, and the milkshakes are delicious. We went around 11:30. I mean, changed her tune immediately. She left a 3-star review and then updated it to 1 star and said, they're cheating me out of $2. I mean, Marie B. She's like, I think Peggy Sue's is actually a front for the mob. They're cheating people out of money. This is actually a fucking... Dude, it's $2. It's probably a high schooler that was like, fuck it, I'm going to take more money from this bitch. Fuck it, this bitch gave us 3 stars. I'm taking more money from her fucking bitch-ass credit card. Fuck this hoe. I'm taking more money from this bitch-ass credit card. She left us 3 stars. I love also leaving a review that says the burgers are great and the milkshakes are delicious and leaving 3 stars. This place, not only are the burgers great, not only are the milkshakes delicious, but the service, exceptional. 3 out of 5 stars. That's 60%. That's fucking failing. That's failing as a business. And someone just left you a raving review. If you took the review away and left that review, you'd be like, oh, 5 out of 5 stars. This is a 100% rating, obviously. 3 out of 5 stars. Wow. Oh, the only reason why is because it was expensive. I like to support local businesses, but I probably won't go back again due to the prices being out of my normal price range. All right. She brings up a fair point. Wow. I mean, they left a lot of freaking bad reviews. You know what? Let's end on a good one for Peggy Sue. I don't know why this diner is rated low. It's nostalgic, and what we ordered was flavorful. We ordered a garden salad with blackened mahi-mahi and a grilled cheese with sweet potato fries. Basic diner food, so no surprises there. That's also not basic diner food. That's also not basic. I don't know what kind of diners you're eating at. Ramona H. She's also elite on whatever the fuck that means on Yelp. But I don't know what kind of fucking diners you're going to. A garden salad with blackened mahi-mahi and a grilled cheese with sweet... Okay, grilled cheese, sweet potato fries, pretty standard. You're right. Garden salad with blackened mahi-mahi, like freshly caught that day probably because you're in Maui. That's not a standard item at a fucking diner, dude. I don't know what kind of diners you go to. When I go to a diner, I get a fucking filet mignon. She's like, yeah, I got the filet mignon and scallops. Pretty standard items when you go to a diner. Grilled cheese and fries came temperature appropriate. It was not greasy at all. Salad was crisp and the fish tender and temperature perfect. Excuse me. We enjoyed our lunch, nothing fancy, reasonable prices, and friendly staff with good suggestions. God damn, this food looks good. This food looks fucking good, dude. Shout out Peggy Sue's in Maui, dude. This food looks bomb as shit, bro. Anyways, we'll review something next week. Or not, because the segment actually didn't go that well. So, we'll see. I might find something, I might not. We might stick with this, we might not. We're working on it, all right? My producer's working on it, a.k.a. myself. All right. Love you guys. I will talk to you next week. I will see you next Tuesday. That is the tagline that I need to work with because I've been told by my agent to say that. Okay? See you next Tuesday. Love you. Goodbye.